Alright, let's try this again. So this video is, okay, first of all, it's a first for me. We'll see how it goes if I even end up uploading this. But this is going to summarize pretty much my thoughts on the new trailer, because I think I have some stuff in my notes. I've noticed some things in the trailer that no one else seems to be talking about right as of right now, at least not in the subreddit or any communities that I've seen or I'm aware of. So okay, let's just try and do this. I have my notes pulled up on my second monitor. Alright, let's go. Before he became a hero, he was the super weapon of gods and kings. Of course, we know from the lore that he was a very important figure after he was put through the divinity machine. So okay, first shot right here. First of all, in-game footage, of course, that's true. It absolutely looks like Doom Eternal graphics. It looks like it runs on. It can still run on 2016 hardware, which is absolutely insane for a game to be optimized for that in 2024. It's been pretty much it's a decade. It's literally decade-old hardware. Okay, so first city here. I went back in Eternal because ever since I saw that, I could not get it out of my head. Even when the DLCs were being teased and talked about in Eternal. So there was a map before Exaltia, the second level, which listed some locations we never got to see. Oh, Exaltia map cutscene. Should have prepared this. I remember the names. So there was obviously there was Taras Nabad and I think Sentinel Prime on there. But there was also three other cities. One was Neras, the other was called Kerlodur, and then there was Ardur. So the first city here is okay. It's right next to a body of water. The closest one, the one that matches this description, this image right here from the trailer, is Neras, and the location makes sense because I think there's a little piece of it to the right of the city that's filled with water. It's water. So this matches Neras pretty well, aside from the fact that it's a little bit more inwards. It's not like a port city. It's not right next to the body of water. But that was interesting. I went back to the map for all of these locations we get to see. This one may or may not be Neras, is all I'm saying. Also, we have new ship designs in the back. These look. I'm not sure actually. So we have the new sunfish kind of ships, and right under them there are two, more classic sci-fi flying ships and all spacecraft. These look like the sunfish ships look more like Sentinel stuff, unless I am mistaken. I can't see them very well. I mean, you can't see them very well from the trailer, but they could be more hellish-like. They don't have any lights on them really, aside from the massive pentagram in the background, which reflects off of some of them. Could be Sentinel or Demon ships, for all we know, for all I know. So the city right here, it's burning. There's a statue over there. I don't think that's a King Novik statue. It looks like a just a generic Knight Sentinel, but it's a pretty big one. And then we keep going. Second Sword is just a decimated battlefield. This game seems to be filled with those. Said battlefield has a demonic tower in the back though. Similar to... It's not the same, but It's the similar imagery from Hell on Earth, the first Doom Eternal campaign level. So it could be a similar deal with this. They may be trying to terraform the landscape, you know, with all the lava lakes, the lava rivers in Hell on Earth. Hell seems to like doing that a lot. They raise towers fighting everywhere. And there's also a broken down cannon, sentinel cannon, right next to the trees here, burning. Or a turret. Next shot we have an Imora-esque sentinel ship, just the same ship actually, it's the same model, falling down and just scraping a tower from the top. While in the back there's like a massive war in the background, down by the mountain. This is all very Imora-like. They really like the idea of a war going on in the skybox constantly in the background, and obviously because this is going to be a grittier game during the Hell invasion of the Argenta people. You know, humanity didn't really have a chance. They needed the Doomslayer, but the Argenta the Argenta people got the Hell energy, the Argent energy, implemented it into their weapons and machines, and they were able to fight back for a little bit. The Doom guy was there, but there were massive fights, massive battles. We get to see that in the trailer, of course. This is a great example of that. Also, way more of these the classic ships. Actually, okay, so these ships right here, they are firing off red bullets. So I mean, okay, I guess that's settled then. It's that's from Hell's side, and also, I don't know if people notice this right here. There is a huge structure with tiny red lights right on this mountain. It's right there. I don't know if that's one of the bigger ships we get to see later with the tentacles, which are not the same ones from Imora. Those are way more. They're metal first of all. These ones, the ones later are stone. But anyway, we'll get to those. So then we have a new Colosseum actually, which is interesting. This one has a huge, absolutely fucking massive skull, and well, I guess it's a jaw, the lower part, down and to the right. This Colosseum also has a different design from the one we saw in Eternal. Could be the one the Slayer fought in, because the other one wasn't even in Tarasnabat or anything. It was a Settler Prime. I may be forgetting something there from the lore. Maybe it was confirmed that that was the one, or you know, it was a different one. I don't know. But this is pretty interesting. Of course, we have a turret fucking defending the city. And then we have this floating thing. Another city. So this one, it's not. It doesn't look Sentinel made necessarily. The technology, the pillars, the statues all around it, they resemble Maker stuff, but the design language is completely fucking different. What I thought when I first saw this was that maybe it's related to the Wraiths. Why is that? Well, I didn't see. I still don't see anything resembling Maker architecture. Especially because later we get to see the ship the Slayer gets thrown out of, launched out of, and the room within that ship, and it's all classic Maker architecture with the doors and everything. It's very Maker stuff is very bulky. They have a lot of lines. It's very bulky. It's very round. Lots of white and red, and of course you have the golden halos and all. This has none of that. This is much more classic. I guess if I had to make a comparison to a generic fantasy thing, it would be Elven. It looks very thin. The design is very thin, very delicate. The statue up top has wings. that are striped. We haven't really seen those anywhere. And I tried enhancing some images, passing them through AI. The central figure doesn't really look like a maker either. It's much more human-like, except for the head, which could either it could be wearing a helmet. I don't know. The resolution is not high enough even for AI, and even then it's interpreting whatever it wants. So bridges, spikes on top of there. It's not quite Sentinel technology either. That is also completely different. It has a lot of wood and a lot of, I guess, darker metal. So, next one. Oh, also, what I forgot to mention in the previous shot, there was a ship coming down from the, coming down necessarily. It was coming from the right to the, going towards the city. This could be us. This could be the cutscene where we get to enter wherever this is. So anyway, we move on to the next shot. This is the Doomslayer inside the Urdak ship. So in this game, it's in prehistory. The whole deal with the makers hasn't been at least discovered or hasn't happened yet altogether. So this is the Slayer in a maker ship. Completely maker design, by the way. It's not like the Doom Fortress. This is completely of maker design, even on the outside when you see it later. So the weird thing about this shot is he's going to come down, go down into a room. Like you see some parts when the panning shot comes up. There are two parts on the left and right that go out under the rest of the floor, and he either goes into, like, lowers into a room where his sword and shotgun are, or it encapsulates him, comes out from the sides all around him. And he's also suspended. I mean, I'm assuming he's suspended into this this ring. So they may or may not trust him yet. I'm going more towards the Slayer being already having high rank. Because of what we see, he's in the Urdak ship. He's already the Doomslayer. He has his powers. So this is after the Divinity Machine, and they use him as a super weapon. They have acknowledged that he is, useful. The Sentinels are using him in tandem with the Makers. Makers and Sentinels are buddy in this game, pretty much. So we likely won't get to see much of that, and I don't think we'll get to see Urdak either, even if we visit some Urdak-like locations. Anyway, there he goes. There's our main guy. He's getting his shotgun, of course, which is like in the mid-hook. I mean, for gameplay reasons, of course, but I wanna see what the lore implications will be on that. How are they going to explain it? When did the mid-hook come into play? And he also has his shield. Now, his shield is very interesting to me, because I remember in 2016 there was a codex entry that mentioned that the Slayer, during these times, prehistory basically, when he was fighting the war with the Sentinels, he had a sword and a shield, and that could be interpreted, whichever way. They could mean his guns, they could mean his, there's also a line from Novik that says something in the lines of, you will be their sword and you will be their shield. Your resolve will be their shield. I don't remember exactly what he said, but I always believed he had an actual shield and sword that he was using. So the sword we got to see in Eternal, and obviously we know that he had a crucible at some point. There were a lot of energy weapons during this time. We got to see the shield finally. So if it wasn't explicitly made, so that you immediately thought, oh yeah, this is literal. So I was waiting to see the actual shield, and now we get to see it. This is what he was using. We didn't get to see any crucibles in this game. Maybe he has it, maybe that's a super weapon, because the BFG, him getting the BFG is a bit unlikely in this game. So let's continue. There we go, he's being fired out of the ship. Fucking slams down like Thor. Alright, and the gameplay starts. So, classic monkey boost design. That's all I need to say. I really like the monkey boost in this game. The cannons and the packs on their backs and stuff. You can see them more clearly from the Steam page. There's a screenshot of them without all the motion blur and effects. They have very xenomorph-like cannons and backpacks, and I noticed that on the Hell Knight as well. He also has a couple of new lines on his model. If you post a video at the right time, he has added detail and armor pieces, carapace-looking stuff on him that makes this stuff look a bit like Alien. On top of the undersaturated colors and all that, very gritty, black and white looking visuals. So I really like the monkey boost here. We also have the slower bullets. So I watched the interview with Hugo, and he. So okay, actually, even before that, I remember in the Doom Eternal streams, Hugo said that if they were going to do a sequel to Eternal, which of course it would happen at some point, they would want the game to be more like a monster truck, more heavy feeling, more heavy hitting actually. This one is supposed to feel more like a monster truck, and one of the thoughts I had when I first heard that was that, the Doomslayer, they are hyping him up to be this incredible force of barely even nature, just force of the universe, going through, slaying demons, surviving in hell for eons and all that. They would eventually make a Doom game that would have a focus on melee combat, and you see that later, like, in order for this to be a monster truck game, you have your guns, of course. I noticed there are more close range or spread weapons in this game than the previous ones. And Doomguy uses his kick, later he uses his foot. So you have a shield now, which has all of these crazy abilities. You can't really have a punch or a blood punch or a regular thing. Maybe you have your foot for that. We see kicking, he flails a mace. What are they called? The fuck? His thing later with the fucking Aggadon Hunter, which, by the way, yeah, that big dude near the end, that's an Aggadon Hunter. Going off topic here, I'm just speaking at this point. Let's continue the trailer. So we have the Skull Crusher, completely new weapon, fucking insane weapon. Everyone's talking about the Skull Crusher. People called it the Skull Crusher, I think, in social media or something. I haven't seen the exact post. And Hugo Martin replied with, yeah, that is the official name. So the official name of this is the Skull Crusher, which is great. It's exactly what I expect from id Software. And by the way, we also have the official names of the rest of the guns we get to see. So this gun, what I am speculating, I don't know if it's confirmed anywhere, what I am speculating is that this will refill based on the kills you do. A great idea. I've been thinking about this since Eternal. Like, what if there was a gun that recharged based on the how many enemies you kill? Not glory kills, not like the Crucible or the Blood Punch. Just kills. It counts like one skull per enemy. I hope it works like that. That would be great. It's incentivizing more, more forward. Like, if you're low on SP or like trying to survive, you need to continue killing, which is basically the philosophy of the two previous games. The way in which you're killing, your approach will be different, but if this incentivizes more kills in order to have ammo, if this is how you get your ammo versus, having to play an animation or whatever, it's going to be a very fresh way of thinking about, the situation you'll be in. So this gun is demonstrated here in this facility. This is an interesting one. It's one of the things I haven't seen people talking about. So in the back here, you see a big arm being raised from a machine, from like a foundry. This is like a foundry looking level from 2016. This is clearly an Atlan assembly factory. This is where they make Atlans. This is a Sentinel facility, basically. This may also tie into the SWOT in the end, where you get into an Atlan and start fighting Titans. But I thought this was interesting. This is very cool visuals as usual. It's all for crushing it with the visuals. Then you have the shield. So the shield is a fucking chainsaw. I mean, you know. The second half of the trailer, we get to see what it can do. It's essentially you have two arms now, two hands. You use the right one is for the all the guns, you know, classic style FPS stuff. The left one has just the shield. By the looks of it, I don't think they show off. No, they don't. The left arm only has the shield, but the shield has so many different uses. Like you see a shield bus, you see revving up the chainsaw. You can rev up the chainsaw, throw it. If you throw it towards an enemy, you know, obviously it hits them. If you throw it towards a wall or somewhere else, it bounces off and connects right back to you wherever you are at that point. Or maybe it can miss you. Maybe it can miss you. That's part of the game loop. This is interesting. There are so many things to talk about in this fucking scene. So we have a forest with massive trees that look like, you know, the roots are coming off the ground. They're just hovering. Some of them. It looks like hands. It looks like arms. It reminds me of the skeletal hands of the dead titans around the blood swamps. A lot of people I've seen are talking about the blood swamps when seeing this shot. Maybe this is what the blood swamp trees look like if they, you know, in a living environment, if they're actually alive, not completely shriveled up. And next thing in this shot, the Revenant, which is it's not a Revenant. The Revenant in the reboot at least, I remember from 2016, they are meant to be humans with, you know, passed through hell energy or whatever, got just corrupted. They were elongated, they were retrofitted with cannons and all this technology from the UAC. They're not like, they didn't come from hell. They weren't things that came from hell and the UAC just put stuff on them like they did with the Mancubus or the Cyber Demon. So these ones are completely different. The cannons are different, the outfits are different. They have a sickle. They have a fucking sickle. They look like actual Grim Reapers, and I think I think you can barely tell. The face under the hood is still a skull. I think that's what's going on here. So it's still a classic, you know, this skeleton figure that can fly with the Revenant cannons. Slayer throws a shield. I guess kills the Revenant. It wouldn't be that easy, but obviously for trailer purposes. Then we have the classic Pinky with massive horns. That is a Pinky down there. That is a Pinky. It has massive horns, a second pair of teeth coming out of the like from the jaw neck area. But you need to get pretty close in order to see that, and it's like 2 frames. And a soldier, I think it's a soldier, is riding it. So this is a new Pinky jockey, I guess. Like in Minecraft, they have zombie spider jockeys. This is a new combo, which is very cool. They may inherently just spawn like that, they may be placed like that, or some soldiers may be able to decide to go on Pinkies, Lord of the Rings style. The big hyenas or whatever they were. Yep. Slayer just takes him out with his thing here. And then we got to another interesting shot with a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff people haven't noticed yet, or maybe they have and they haven't noticed the environmental details or whatever. So, the Arachnotron, first of all, completely. So this is a cursed image for me. The first time I saw this, I was like, this is an Arachnotron without any cybernetic enhancements besides the turret on his back, which is like, it looks like a minigun. It's pretty gnarly. But they don't have any like weird legs or anything. They look like crabs with brains, all of them. They look like crabs. So, very cool area, of course. I love this area, I love how it looks. You can see a bridge on the back. There is some sentinel-looking architecture with, you know, the completely metal domed buildings with the metal support all around it. And you have a new enemy in the back. There is no way that's the Cacodemon. You know, it wouldn't make sense for them to change the Cacodemons. Nothing changed about them ever. They're just another Hell Demon like the Imp. Which, okay, actually that's kind of ironic. They did something with imp, but anyway. Yeah, new floating brain demons. Those look very cool. I think it's the favorite demon. It's my favorite demon from this trailer so far, both new and redesigned. I think. I mean, you know, Monkey by come a bit close, but yeah. And as far as the environment goes, that is a ship back here. That is straight up a medieval ship, like not any sentinel-looking thing. Which it looks old. It looks like an actual pirate ship, which makes me think this may be on Earth. But this looks like a human ship in the back, and there is people aren't talking about this. The whole environment is very wet, very humid. There's algae everywhere, hanging from everywhere. This may be this may have been a completely flooded area that you changed later somehow. Then there's a statue in the back we have never seen before. It's a guy, very dark statue. Some dude with either massive wings or maybe hatching from an egg, maybe coming out of a thing. I don't know what this is all about. I think they're wings. Very cool, very neat. I think that's a flooded area that you at some point unflood. Of course, you're using the shield here. Next shot, standard hell looking place. There's a proper blood swamp tree in the back. There's also some kind of wall or gate off to the right. It looks a bit like the Necrovol Titan, just crying rivers of lava and magma. I think that's a door. That looks like a door actually. That looks like a Doom Eternal door, like when you went through Exaltia second half, the huge doors you open. It looks like one of those doors. There are stairs. It's big open arena. The game is full of these huge open arenas. You can just go through. There are people running. Even in the beginning with the Mancubi, there were soldiers off to the right, just coming off a bridge that looked like it may have just fallen there. Maybe the demons fucking airdropped that. You throw the shield Captain America style, comes back, bounces off. We also get to see the new design of the soldiers. They're way more demonic now, since these are not humans that have been tampered with. At least not yet. And we also see it's the first sighting of this, the new guy over here to the right. That could either be, it looks very much like a prowler. It has the hands of an archvile from Eternal, like the three fingers that are glowing. But it's not an archvile. It's not trying to do any weird business. It's not as tall, I think. And the head, there's just, it looks like it has only one eye on the on his head. We'll see how that plays out in the near future with QuakeCon and all that. That could be an imp, either a variant or a nod to the classic imp. But this looks like a much more intelligent imp. We don't really see the little monkeys we had throughout 2016 and Eternal. That's interesting. If we get to see a more, a slower type of imp, it will make sense for the design of this game. Like, you can't have imps being, the little monkeys, little fucking guys scallywagging all around and throwing fireballs, unless they were extremely weak and they were there for you to be essentially mobile targets in a game where you're supposed to be engaging with more melee. So this may be a new imp. Then we change the shot again, and it's another battlefield. It may be the same location from the beginning. This is day, but I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. You see these huge ships in the back. They look a lot like the Moran ones, but they're completely stone, completely made out of stone. They have a lot of windows. They look more like hell barges. The Titans. So that's interesting. Also, I think they may be bigger. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. but a lot of sentinel bodies, and the Slayer just moves forward with the shield. You jump and dash down, use like a shockwave, you do like a shockwave thing, throws everyone around. Also, the other thing is ragdolls in this game. They seem much more fun. Like, you can throw people, you can impale people, as we'll see in a couple of seconds. It's pretty cool stuff. And the other thing I was thinking, so tangent number 5 trillion at this point. The other thing I was thinking, right after Eternal, was, okay, so you've done everything you can. You go a million miles an hour in Eternal. You have all of these controls. You have mastered the movement and the weapons, the guns. You've created some banger stuff. What do you do for the next one? How do you evolve the next game? And the one thing that I came to while thinking about that was, okay, well, it was two things. First of all, it was melee combat, which, you know, of course, this is the direction they're going towards. Which makes me think about the second one, which is environmental destruction and interactability. Because here, let's play the video. So the imp, or the imp question mark, is manifesting like a fireball, and you impale it using the. Okay, by the way, I didn't talk about the guns. This one is called the rail spike. The shield is called the shield saw. I mean, it's kind of, whatever. And the plasma rifle that was firing more like a heavy assault rifle, that was the accelerator. Apparently, that's their names. I don't remember where I found them. They are official. I know they are official. Someone commented. Someone either commented or like they said it in an interview. A lot of interviews are coming out, both written and on YouTube. Anyway, so this is the rail spike, right? The rail spike. So you spike him back on this platform. This thing has spikes on it. So you may either this gun is able to impale demons on walls. Like, if they die, the rifle stays there, just hanging. Or maybe it's the wall that did that, through the spikes. I don't know. Could be either. We keep going. Then we have the Hell Knight just jumping in. And this is where we see the parry, which everyone is going crazy over, including me. I love that. We had a similar. So I watched another video a couple of minutes ago. The Marauder in Eternal. There were a lot of enemies also in the DLCs, especially the second one, which was mostly variants, that needed a lot of stopping their attacks, or when their eyes flashed green, or their weapon flashed green with the armored barons, for example. You had to shoot that. You had to shoot them at that moment. There was a small window. If you got it, you will do something. You will break the baron's armor. You will make the Marauder stutter, or whatever. You'll freeze him in his steps. It seems like they have gone full on parry in here. You can just parry enemies. It's no longer just shoot them when the window appears. This window is now, they're attacking you. It's during an attack, so you can decide to parry it with your shield, and they get knocked back. This appears in the form of, the green lightning you see around the Hell Knight, and you also see that on the imp that gets impaled. You can see it for like a split second right before the spike goes through it, and after you parry, this is either the slowdown rune that you can activate. You can activate it in Eternal when you're jumping, but time slows down for a bit, and there's this yellow circle around the head. This could either be a glory kill opportunity, or it's just showing you that the parry was successful with the yellow, and then the purple means that time is running out and you have to return something. You may have to return fire, or otherwise the demon breaks out of it, and you keep just fighting normally. This is what I got from it. Or it's either that, or the purple is just telling you, it was successful, and the UI element is just fading off and doesn't mean anything. But I think it means something. I think you need to return something before that runs out. Our guy does that here. blows off his head, of course. Then you have another dash, which is a different one than before. The previous one produces shockwave. This one makes you dash forward without having to jump or anything. You cover a much greater distance, and also the saw is going around the shield. So it's more like a shredding. And then we have, of course, our boy. This is the Aggadon Hunter. People figured it out. The moment I saw that, I was like, this is the goddamn Doom Hunter. This is the original guy. How is it called? Googled it, Aggadon Hunter, there you go. So, that was interesting. That is very interesting. We get to see them alive before they went extinct. They look very cool. I really like their design. So, a couple of things here with the Aggadon guy. There's an eye on his chest that's protected by like an armor piece, or maybe that's right on his body. Hold on, let me see. So no, it's armor. Okay, so there is a yellow eye on his chest on the his right side. If you see the Doom Hunter design, there is a UAC type technology, I guess, from Diagranak, that has a yellow light inside of it, like it's keeping something. That is on the opposite side of the model, but that could be the organ, whatever the eye is, if it's an actual eye. It's keeping it either alive, it's keeping it, it's a substitute for the eye if it's been ripped off to keep, make it operational in that area, or else the Aggadon Hunter on the tank and the deck is not going to function properly. And the other thing is the ribcage. So on the Doom Hunters, we see the ribcage is from one side is completely blown out. You can see the ribs individually. This guy has the ribs out. It looks a lot like a Hell Knight, how a Hell Knight looks. It also has an exposed center right here. There's bone on the center, which no, there's nothing there, and by that I mean it's pretty much hidden. So there's like a wound there, like that part has been ripped out or something. Yeah, that's interesting. And the other thing, so these guys also have a similar eye on the mechanical arm, the right arm, which has been completely replaced fully. This is a completely new arm. I don't know if that arm is supposed to be already ripped off, or they have some kind of damage that they have, attempted to fix. Could be because they're holding the that huge sword, or, like butcher sword or whatever that is, to give them extra strength. They also have some enhancements on their feet, some additional armor, and more parts just jutting out of them, hacked into them. Yeah, that is the Aggadon Hunter. They have their face is red. I'm assuming that's armor. It looks like a helmet. They also have a gnarly, weird shield, and the same coat, the same cape the Doomslayer has, along with some, they also have some bones on there. This is also where you get to see the kick. Maybe a combo, maybe like a super ability you have, like a rechargeable flail ability. And then we have the Atlan, of course. The final two shots are insane. So the Atlan is inside a cathedral of some kind. I'm guessing that is at the end of the other facility we saw with the arm. And of course, we are fighting we were fighting a Titan. So this is also interesting. This looks like Mars. It looks like a Mars base. There is a weird like teleporter-looking thing on the left. Where when the mech punches the Titan. There's also a facility in the back which looks like a UAC one. That is very weird. I don't really know what to think about that. That could be like... It could be how Sentinel bases on Mars look like. And I'm saying this because the structure on the left, on the back there, with the beam going up, that doesn't look very UAC-like. It has a lot of blue lights and all, which, Sentinels have a ton of blue lights everywhere. Also, the small thing completely to the left of the frame looks like that. And the Titan, the other thing is, the Titan has a new weapon. They have a new mace, which we haven't seen before. So that's cool, they'll definitely be fighting back. And the final shot is the dragon. So this dragon is also extremely fucking interesting because this is not the Wintherin. This is not the traditional like Wintherin from the World Spear. They are much more long, much thinner. They're not this muscular as this guy. They have much longer necks and completely different horns. So you have two types of Witherins. We have the low quality models which were used in Imora. You know, the Dark Lord had some corrupted Witherins with their horns pointing at the back of their heads. Also much longer horns. And then we have the good ones which have four horns pointing forward like a mouth, like a weird, I guess, I don't know, dune worm mouth. So this guy has none of that. Also just brown in color. His visor has damage on the right, well, to his left, on our right. His tail is also, I think, a bit different. It just comes to a point. And the first shot looks pre-rendered. So if we go here, either pre-rendered or they've done a really good job with portraying like the saliva. So this guy is much more muscular, much more. It doesn't have very long body parts, no long neck, no long feet, and all that. He has damage on his visor, and the Slayer looking up to him, it looks like, also combined with the next shot right here. So there is a circle of fire you can see down there, like almost like an arena. We have a circle of fire. The thing has damage on it, has cybernetic enhancements, and also fake wings. So if it was a dragon before, something ripped out its wings, but it has fake wings, just argent wings. And there's a circle of fire. There's a huge rib cage above, like almost like, you know, a place to keep these guys. I'm assuming he can't really fly out of there, maybe. So what I was thinking, and this is complete speculation, this looks like a ritual to get your own dragon. This looks like, you know, the Sentinels may have put the Slayer there. It's like, okay, yo, we have this guy. He's not like a traditional Wintherin or anything. Maybe it's a different Wintherin species, I don't know. But even his mouth and stuff is different. Anyway, we have this guy. You can try and tame him. You'll have to battle with him. This may be a boss fight before you get the dragon. And then you get him. This is like the final shot. And you fly out of there and you do whatever you do in the next shot, which I'm pretty sure it takes place in the floating city with the Sentinel, but not really design, you know, architecture. You're right next to one of the big ships, and during the flying segment, you can see the cannons firing out of that ship. They are bright green, which, you know, if we assume the green thunder on the other enemies, means you can parry their attacks. When they're attacking, there's green thunder, and obviously green means go in all of the games, either to show you direction or interact with this, or, you know, you can do this. These things may be interactable. Maybe they are destructible, so you can destroy the cannons. The dragon has a turret on top of it. Like, you don't really see the Doom guy on the dragon. You see a turret. He may be inside there. Maybe it's that big. Let me just go back here to the previous shot. Yeah, there's a turret on there with two cannons. Yeah, you may be able to shoot these off, and the projectile is coming off the cannons there. They are purple, brightly colored against, you know, whatever the brown environment. Obviously, you're meant to dodge those, at least not hit them, you know, or you're meant to acknowledge them in some way, maybe, since they're purple, which is a weird color for hell, let alone the look of this game. So, yeah. And then the title drops, Doom the Dark Ages. And the final shot is, of course, you know, the dragon just firing into a Titan. Everyone has pointed this out. This is Godzilla 2014. It's great. It's great. Here we go, coming 2025. And that's the trailer. So, okay, these are my thoughts. So, a couple of notes. The Aggadon Hunter has, you know, the yellow eyes on him. I don't think I've mentioned this before. May have forgotten. So Maligog from the first DLC from the Blood Swamps, he only has one eye. He's the biggest Titan by far we've seen. He only has one eye, and that one eye is a yellow glowing eye with a slit in the middle. This is also the deal with these guys, and something tells me, like, because I don't see any insane hell technology on demons this time around. They're very vanilla, I guess, more flesh than machine. It may have to do with whatever is going on in this game, as well as with the ships in the background. This kind of eye means something. It definitely ties into something. These eyes and Maligog, I think there's a connection there. So there's that. What else? I mean, then I can just throw around my thoughts. We will probably see more flashbacks from where the Slayer came from the other timeline. We will see, of course, I think we'll see the other cities from the Exodia map, or at least we'll get some more info on them. Completely new arsenal. Very interesting to see what's going on there. If we'll see even one gun that was in the previous games. So since this is in prehistory, since this is before 2016 and Eternal, we may get to see the Reds. Oh my god, please, it's software. Please, I really want to see the Reds. I've been going off about the Reds ever since I heard about the Codex segment in 2016. Yeah, that's about it. The Wraiths, there's some more Wraith stuff. I like to think that, you know, at that moment in time, I mean, obviously, they're using maker technology. They're already in contact with the makers. Maybe we'll get to see the tribes still believing in the Wraiths or whatever, you know, remaining loyal, even though they don't know about the what the makers are planning yet. And I want to see the Wraiths alive. Basically, I want to see what they are able to do. Maybe we release one. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we'll go back to the World Spear. That would be cool. But regardless, this is the trailer. These are my thoughts on it. I barely have enough time these days, which is unfortunate. It's exam period, and wrote these notes down yesterday, just at near 5 a.m. So, yeah, that is all, I think. Let me know what you thought. See you next time, guys.